Hello, hello, hello. What's up, Paulie?
Hey, everybody. How you doing? Paul Allen and
Jimmy Dove.
And we are live from Brennan's Tavern here in Holiday, Florida. And tonight, though, it's Brennan's Sports Tavern.
Sports Tavern. That's
We're going to be talking football. Got a little baseball to talk to, but we're going to talk mostly football. We have a pretty nice little crowd here tonight.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we ate, and Tracy, you and I had a hamburger, cheeseburger. They were fantastic, and it was only $5. Every Thursday, $5 burgers, and I'll tell you, the fries, they were excellent. The onion rings, I'm not saying that other places don't have good food, but if you want to come to a tavern, sports bar, and have good food, and not just nachos and stuff, come here. Food here is excellent. I highly recommend it. It is a two-squeak special.
Two-squeak special Thursday.
All right, we started talking earlier about what happened in the NFL last week.
Yep.
Before the game started off, we were talking about your boy, Tyreek Hill.
That is correct.
Now, Tyreek, great ball player, bit of a punk ass, but a great ball player. He was caught speeding, going to the game, not wearing a seatbelt. The police officers pulled him over. And Jimmy, what happened then?
Hey, what, when he got pulled over?
When he got pulled over.
Well, I guess when he refused to roll his window down.
Yep.
And then he had a choice of cooperating or not cooperating, getting out of his car or being removed from his car. And he was removed from his car, thrown down to the ground, placed in handcuffs, and...
He was belligerent.
Sorry?
He was very belligerent.
Yeah, he was very uncooperative.
Yep, uncooperative. Told the cops, don't hit on my window.
He pulled the, do you know who I am card?
Yeah, he did.
And they said, we don't care who you are.
He did go and play the game and scored a touchdown. And when after he scored a touchdown, his celebration was another player came, like they had his handcuffed.
I think Jalen Waddle came from behind him.
Yep. Meanwhile, he did come out today say that he should have handled the situation a little differently.
You think he gets? Do you think he gets fined for that celebration?
I don't know. All I know is, listen, when the officer tells you what to do, do it. Do it. Yeah. You think the cops want to put you? You think the police want to put you on the ground? They don't want to do that. They don't want the paperwork. They don't want the headache. They don't want the publicity. Just do what they tell you to do and move on your way. And that goes if you're white or black, because they're making it a black and white issue. What can I say?
I spent 25 years dealing with black and white issues.
That's right. So, just so people know, Jimmy here was a corrections officer for 25 years. So he knows both sides of this coin.
Yeah.
All right, other things that went on. If anybody out there plays in the survivor pool, I guarantee you, most of you had to lose last week when Cincinnati got beat by New England. How the hell did that happen?
I don't know. You get beat. You're at home in Cincy, and New England comes in there and just beats you up. Beat you up.
Come on, Cincinnati. I know you're always a slow starting team, but man.
There's problems in Cincinnati.
Oh, big problems. Meanwhile, your Pittsburgh Steelers won and never scored a touchdown.
Chris Boswell.
All he did was kick 6 field goals.
And long field goals.
Yeah.
18 points.
Yeah. Pat McAfee's got to love that game because he loves his kickers.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, the Wizard of Oz, man.
The Wizard of Oz, baby. Go Pittsburgh.
Tampa Bay had a big win over Washington, and I'll tell you what, maybe this will silence some of the critics that says Tampa Bay's not that good. We don't like the quarterback.
Baker played a hell of a game, didn't he?
Baker played great. And I'll tell you what, the 2 catches that number 13 made, Evans is a Hall of Famer.
I was just going to say,
if I've ever seen one.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Yep. All right. Also, the first overtime game happened with Detroit taking a win.
Sunday night. Rams played a hell of a game, too.
Yeah, that was a pretty good game. All right, let's move on real quick, talk some college football.
All right.
Maybe the biggest upset of the year happened in the first week.
Yes. In South Bend, Indiana, there when Notre Dame got upset by
Northern Illinois. Now, that's a Mid-American team who plays the likes of Akron, Toledo, Bowling Green, and they went into Notre Dame and kicked Notre Dame's butt.
Tough environment, too. They went in there and handled business, didn't they?
It was something to watch, wasn't it? We watched it cheering and yelling.
That team believes in something.
Yes, they do. All right, also, our USF Bulls gave Alabama all they wanted until the last 6 minutes of the game.
Yep. And maybe some questionable calls in that game, too.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, for Alabama, that Jalen Monroe, he's a great quarterback, and they've got a 17-year-old wide receiver, Ryan Williams.
Stud.
Watch this kid's college career. He's only 17, and he's the number one wide receiver for the Alabama football team. They go to Wisconsin this week. Last time they played Wisconsin was back in 1928.
Yeah, they'll crush Wisconsin. Those teams recruit well. Georgia, Alabama, they always seem to recruit pretty well, don't they?
Well, year after year after year.
Pretty solid.
Like the top 15 in college. Number one, Georgia Bulldogs. I don't know if they lose a game all year.
I say crown them champs now, but we'll see.
Number two, Hook 'em Horns. Texas played a pretty good game last week.
In the big house.
In the big house, crushing Michigan. Ohio State, OH.
I-O.
There you go. That's number three. Alabama, number four.
Yeah.
Number five.
Ole Miss.
When I was a kid, you had to learn to spell Mississippi. And I'll never forget it. M-I, crooked letter I, crooked letter I, humpback, I. And that's how everybody learned to spell Mississippi.
You know who one of the famous quarterbacks from Ole Miss is, don't you?
No.
Eli Manning.
Oh, yes, Eli went there.
Come on.
Listen. Where does brother go?
Tennessee.
All right, just checking. All right, number 6, Missouri. Number 7, the aforementioned Tennessee.
Yeah.
Number 8,
We are
Penn State.
Penn State.
Number 9, Oregon, who is a pretty decent team. And number 10, a surprise,
The Hurricanes.
Miami Hurricanes.
They win the ACC, by the way.
Yep. I am shocked that they still have Michigan at number 17.
17.
As bad as they looked. And they still got Notre Dame number 18.
Yeah.
And the team that beat Notre Dame at number 18 is number 25. I can't figure out. It doesn't matter what you do on the field. It matters what team you are. All right, we got
Go ahead.
a couple games this week. One of them is tomorrow night. Number 20, Arizona, plays at number 14, Kansas State.
I like Kansas State in
I
that
do
game.
too. Kansas State's a 6-point favorite, and I think they cover.
They're a solid ball club.
All right, games on Saturday. You've got number 16, LSU, playing South Carolina. South Carolina is a good little football team.
LSU beats them.
Yeah, but I don't know if they cover. Boston College, number 24, at number 5, Missouri. Boston College won 2 games already. Missouri's good at home, though.
Yeah.
All right, then you got number 9, Oregon, at Oregon State. Normally, this game is the Apple Bowl, and it's played around Thanksgiving time.
Right.
But with all the changes of conferences, it is what it is. Oregon should route. They should route them.
They should route them. I agree.
Your Notre Dame plays at Purdue. Utah at Utah State.
I like Utah.
Yeah, number 12. Georgia, number 1, should shellac Kentucky.
That won't even be close.
All right, John, I don't know where he is out here. Maybe he's in the room crying already. Texas A&M goes into the swamp. They got to beat Florida by 2 touchdowns, don't they?
Oh, Texas A&M in a route.
Yeah, Florida's not much. And our USF Bulls plays at Southern Mississippi. So that's my college.
Wait a second.
You got some more?
Your beloved Toledo
Oh, yeah, my Toledo Rockets.
goes to Mississippi State. What do you think?
Mississippi State, home of the Cowbells. They'll
Home
be
of the
ringing them Cowbells. But my Toledo Rockets, pretty good football team. I got to root for the Rockets. To
Yeah,
win
we got to root
another
for
one.
Toledo. Yep.
All right. We're going to move on to some pro games now.
Huge game tonight. Huge game.
Tonight, Buffalo at the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Now, you'll notice what jersey I'm wearing.
Yeah, that's your cousin, Josh Allen,
I'm wearing my cousin, Josh Allen.
who had a big game last week.
They have just owned Miami. Buffalo, I think they've won like 12 out of the last 14 times they've met. Buffalo has won. I watched Miami last week. They got a problem tonight. All right. Moser, the one running back, is
He's
out. How do you say the other guy's name? Ashane?
A-Chain?
A-Chain. They don't know if he's playing or not. It's going to be a game-time decision. So they're going to go with their third-string running back, Jeff Wilson, who I managed to pick up in 3 of my leagues. And,
Who's a decent player. He's a decent player.
Yeah, he is. And I think he's going to start tonight. But all that does is put so much pressure on Tua and his wide receivers. I don't know. Buffalo, they got a pretty damn good defense.
I like Miami.
You like Miami? John likes Miami.
I like Miami at home.
I'm going for Buffalo. Matter of fact, I am also shocked at the spot on this game.
Yep.
Miami is favored by 2.5 points.
They're at home.
They're favored over Buffalo, who's owned them, and Josh Allen.
Home field advantage. Home field advantage.
It says Allen on the back. Yeah, Josh Allen. Anyway, I like Buffalo. You like Miami.
I do.
All right, next game. You've got the Las Vegas Raiders going into Baltimore. Baltimore's an 8.5-point favorite.
Baltimore wins by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I watched LV last week. They were in the game for the first little bit. They got to get their act together.
I'm not all impressed with the stash.
Nah,
Minshew.
Minshew, I got to believe that Baltimore's defense will chew them up. And I look for a big game out of Baltimore.
I agree.
All right, the next game, the LA Chargers do something that I always love to bet against.
Yep.
I hate teams that come from the West Coast and fly all the way to the East Coast.
Yeah.
They lose 3 hours of time, and it's a long trip. However, the Los Angeles Chargers are playing one of the 2 worst teams in football when they play the Carolina Panthers, and they're only -6.
This is my upset special because I'm taking Carolina.
You like Carolina here.
It's my upset special.
You know, I'm not a Harbaugh fan, who's the head coach of the Chargers, and I would love to follow you, but I took the Chargers.
Okay.
I'm going to kick myself in the butt after this game's over. All right, the next game we're going to talk about is Seattle, and they're doing the same thing. They're flying way from Seattle all the way to Boston to play the New England Patriots, and they're 3.5 favorites. So Seattle is the favorite in the game. Who do you like?
I like Seattle. Still not all impressed with New England, even though they upset Cincinnati. I think they got a lot of weaknesses on the team. I like Seattle.
I agree, even though it goes against my theory.
I know.
I'm going to stick with Seattle as well. Your New York Jets, -3.5 at Tennessee.
Yeah, this is a very interesting game. I think Aaron and the Jets win that game.
Well, if the Jets lose and they start off 0-2, you may see a riot in New York.
Maybe. If they go 0-3 for sure, but 0-2, I don't think that's going to happen. I think they beat Tennessee.
Tennessee's not bad. I don't know if I believe in Willis as their quarterback yet.
I just don't think Tennessee can run the ball very well. Their
I
offensive line's garbage. Their quarterback is average at best. I like Father Time. I like Rodgers.
All right, I took the Jets too, but I could easily be talked into Tennessee. All right, the next game, I said that maybe Carolina was the worst team in football. Well, maybe this next team's the worst team in football. I know one thing. If you watched television last week, they were the worst dressed team in all of football. The New York Football Giants at Washington. Washington's -1.5. The Giants not only looked bad playing football, they looked like hell in those uniforms.
Well, Daniel Jones is absolute garbage, and I think the Commanders win that game by 10 points.
I like Washington too. I think it's going to be a long, cold winter for the New York Giants. And winter starts in September. Winter is coming.
Quickly.
Right. The next game is a West Coast game. The LA Rams at the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals are 1-point favorites. I like the Birds.
Who are they playing again?
The Rammies. Playing the Rams. Rams looked okay last week.
I'll take the Rams in that game.
Now Puka Nakua is out, but they still got Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
So if you got Kupp,
Stafford to Cup equals 6.
yeah. Hi, Rick Bees. He's watching. Hi, Rick. All right. Next, we've got the team that disappointed everybody last week, the Cincinnati Bengals at Kansas City, and I am shocked that this spot is only 5.5 points.
You're talking about riots. If the Bengals go 0-2, there'll be some turmoil in Cincinnati.
Well, Cincinnati the last 2-3 years have started off like crap.
You think it's Joe Burrow's hairdo that they're going to go 0-2?
I think he's got the ugliest hairdo I've ever seen. Yeah.
Yeah, Chiefs roll.
5.5 points. How can you not bet Kansas City?
Yeah, I bet the Chiefs.
And if you're looking at a teaser, you can get them -6, which means you're getting them +1/2.
Yeah, that's no brainer. No brainer.
Love Kansas City.
Yeah.
All right. The reason these games were kind of messed up and out of order is because we've got a pick 7, a Super 7 contest. Now, if anybody out there wants to enter our contest, all you got to do, it's free, and you can win. All you got to do is circle the team you think's going to win in our Super 7 contest. Yeah, see if anybody wants to get the Super 7.
The Super 7.
All right. So our Super 7, Game 1.
Yeah.
The New Orleans Saints at the Dallas Cowgirls.
Well, we know the Saints put up a 50-burger against Carolina. Dallas rolled. I like Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas looked pretty good. They're -6.5. Now,
Put them with Kansas City.
Our contest is you just pick them.
Just to pick them. There's no spread.
Yeah, that's a great teaser, isn't it?
Absolutely.
We would get Cowboys -0.5 and KC +0.5.
Is this the year that you can finally say Dallas is for real?
How about them Cowboys?
I mean, they're going to go 12-4, then they're going to get to the first round of the playoffs. They'll lose to San Francisco, and I mean, is that going to be a repeat again?
I think with CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott both signed to these huge lucrative contracts, not only can they play better in their mind, but they damn well better go show it on the field. With the money they're making.
They have no choice. This is do or die for Dallas, I think.
Yep, me too. I'm looking for Ezekiel Elliott to bounce back.
This is last year.
Yeah, but still, he needs a good year this year.
Does he go out with a ring?
What a way to go out with a Super Bowl ring, huh?
I'm just saying.
So
you got to like their chances.
That's our first game, and Jimmy and I both like Dallas.
Yeah.
All right, second game, the Cleveland Browns at the Jacksonville Jags.
Well, there's some turmoil with number 4 there, Mr. Watson, isn't there?
Well, now you got somebody here, Trace. Now you got somebody saying that he sexually assaulted another female.
You can say it's a he said, she said, but he's got a bad reputation, doesn't he?
I think the Cleveland Browns are the happiest people in the world right now. I think they can use this to get out of the worst contract ever signed in the NFL.
I agree.
I think if he has another person, another female, saying that he assaulted him, I think that the Browns can get out of the contract, and I think they can kick this kid out of football.
And that's why I'm taking Jacksonville.
I like Jacksonville myself. The spot in the game is -3. It's at Jacksonville. They need this win as a bounce-back win. The Jags are not a bad football team.
No, they're not.
And talk about guys that just signed brand new big contracts.
Yes.
There's
Jacksonville
another
wins
one.
that game.
All right, game number 3. The Indianapolis Colts at the Green Bay Packers.
Well, Jordan Love is out, 3 to 6 weeks with his bad knee with a game that should never have been played in Brazil, in my opinion. That field was trash. They got that rookie quarterback, or that quarterback from Green Bay played with Tennessee last, Malik something or other.
Well, the Indianapolis quarterback is Richardson.
Yeah.
He's the kid from Florida.
I'm talking about the backup for Green Bay. I don't know.
The backup for Green Bay. I'm sorry.
He went to Malik something or other.
Yeah. They're saying that Love may only be out 2 weeks.
That quarterback that in Green Bay, he went to Liberty, I believe.
Yeah. He's our Liberty quarterback.
I like the Colts.
Liberty. I think that the Indianapolis Colts have enough to go to Green Bay and win.
Jonathan Taylor, too much.
Yep. Colts are -3 in that game, and I think they cover.
Hey, I got to ask you a question real quick, going back to the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
What's up with Marvin Harrison? 1 catch, 4 yards.
You know, I've got him on 2 of my fantasy teams.
I mean,
I cussed him out so loud, he probably heard me in Indianapolis.
I don't understand why he didn't get the ball more.
They threw everything to Pierce. Well, I got to see. Let's see if he can come back.
No.
And make
Marvin
a bounce
Harrison's
back.
in Arizona. I'm not talking about the Colts.
Oh,
I'm talking about the Cardinals.
I thought you were talking about the
No.
Colts playing Green Bay.
I'm sorry. I was talking about the Cardinals.
Boy, we really screwed that up, didn't we?
Yeah, that was my fault.
All right. Well, let's come back. Hey, we don't suck. We just made a boo-boo.
I made a boo-boo.
Game number 4 in our pick 7 is San Francisco 49ers at Minnesota. Minnesota looked awful damn good. Of course, so did San Francisco.
True.
And the line in that game is only 5.5.
Well, does McCaffrey play? That determines on who wins that game.
Yeah, but they had a guy sit in for McCaffrey who lit the world on fire. Mason. He had a great game. So we'll see. I still like San Francisco to cover.
Minnesota's at home?
Yeah. Minnesota's at home.
I like the Niners.
Game number 5. Jimmy's Pittsburgh Steelers plays at Denver. The interesting thing about this game, where did Russell Wilson come from? Denver.
Pittsburgh rolls in that game.
Plus, I think Wilson sits on the bench because I think the Bears are now Fields' team. I like Pittsburgh.
I'm not impressed with Justin Fields or Russell Wilson, so maybe the foot of Boz will reign supreme again.
Well, I know the spot in that game is only -2.5.
Wow.
I'll take my chance with Pittsburgh.
I think Pittsburgh wins by a touchdown.
I
at least.
guarantee you, Pittsburgh will score a touchdown this week.
Pittsburgh defense hell right now.
Yep. I don't know whether it's going to be Pickens or whether Najee Harris runs one in, but Pittsburgh, I look for them to bounce back and score a couple touchdowns.
2-0, baby. 2-0 to start.
All right, game number 6. The Chicago Bears at the Houston Texans. Pretty decent game.
What a game.
Texans are favored by 6. I think they cover.
I agree. Houston wins that game. Sorry, T, but Houston wins that game.
Yeah, I know your wife is a big Chicago Bear fan.
She might not fly home after I made that pick.
That's right. She's going to stay away this Sunday.
She'll stay right in Illinois.
That's right. You know, now that she's in Illinois, I wonder if she comes back with a Chicago T-shirt for you and me. Or a Chicago hat.
I'm sure there's something up her sleeve, yeah.
That's a hint, T.
That's
a hint.
That's a hint.
Walmart sells the Chicago Bears hats.
We know
okay?
you're watching.
We know you're out there watching us. All right, the last game in our pick 7, of course, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Detroit Lions. Last year, the Lions knocked us out of the playoffs. They are a damn good team, but let me tell you, don't you sell our Tampa Bay Buccaneers short.
You know, if the Bucs had another 3 minutes in that playoff game, they would have won. But I got to go Detroit. Sorry.
I like Detroit in the game, but at 7.5, I like the Bucs.
With the spread, yeah, but I think Detroit wins that game.
I think
4 or 5 points.
It's going to be a hell of a game to watch. I know that. I know where you and I will be. We'll be glued in front of the TV for that one.
Yes, we will.
So, real quick, taking a look at the pick 7s. My picks are Dallas. We'll do yours then after. My picks are Dallas, Cleveland, Green Bay, San Francisco, Pittsburgh, Houston, and I'm taking the Bucs.
We agree all except for the game 7 because I took Detroit.
You took Detroit.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. That's our pick 7s. Total points in the Detroit.
Oh, we're going to use a Bucs game for the total points?
Yep.
48.
I was going to say 47.
So there you go.
Wow. All right. So that's what you're looking at. Oh. Want to talk real quick about baseball. Because I know it's basically a football show, but baseball right now this is it. People are playing to get into the World Series.
Yeah.
This is action-packed. The Yankees have a 1.5 game lead over Baltimore in the AL East.
I still like Baltimore.
I like Baltimore as well because you and I got to go see them this year.
We did.
Meanwhile, our Tampa Bay Rays taking it in the shorts. They are now 71-75 on the season. They will not finish above 500. This is a rebuilding year for them. They got a lot of names that I've never heard of before, but you know they're going to try every game. They don't get blown out.
If we would have had Wander Franco, who would have, I mean, what could have possibly we could be talking playoffs ourselves.
Yeah, it's a shame the way one player can make
Not
that
just
big a
blaming
difference.
him, but he was a crucial part of the team.
As
And then if we would have kept a Rose Arena,
Yep.
I don't know.
Would have made a lot of changes. Okay, last night, I don't know how this guy did it, but he hit another one. Shohei Ohtani is going to become the first player in baseball history with 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases.
Amazing.
This guy is a machine. And if he was pitching, he'd have double-digit wins. But I think he's proved, let me hit.
Do you think he pitches next year?
I don't know. If I'm the Dodgers, I don't know if I want him to.
Just have him DH?
Just let him do what he's doing. He may also be one of the first MVPs that are only a DH. Not an outfielder, not an infielder, strictly a DH. And his numbers are so astounding with 50 and 50. How do you not have him be an MVP?
I don't know. But going back to the Rays real quick, do you think this new stadium deal is going to draw more fans to the ballpark? Do you like going to the Trop, watching games at the Trop?
Personally, I like the Trop. But if they do what they say they're going to do, they're going to take that whole area down there, put stores, movie theaters.
That's okay.
And make it a destination. Right now, the only destination is the ballpark and the sports bar.
Well, then Fergs, that's it.
Fergs. There's nothing else down there, really.
No,
There's a few,
nothing wrong with the Fergs because Fergs has great food, by the
yes,
way.
and there's a few restaurants and all down there, but not like some of these other stadiums. Like when we went to Baltimore.
Right.
Man, that's a nice area down there.
The Rays need a new stadium.
Rays do need a new stadium.
Retractable roof, state-of-the-art facility, you know.
As long as they don't play like the Chicago White Sox,
Yeah.
things are good.
Can you imagine?
Talk about setting records. As of today, the Chicago White Sox record is 33 wins, 114 losses.
Okay, so if you're a professional player like that, how can you get motivated to play a baseball game in front of 500 fans?
Well, every 2 weeks you get a check,
I mean, for real.
right? Every 2 weeks, someone's handing you a check. And what can you say? You
I
got
don't
to
know.
take the money.
Be awful damn tough for me to get motivated.
It is hard.
Now what'd they lose, like 20 straight or something?
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's very difficult. You know the team's got to do something in the offseason.
Maybe move to another city.
Well, Chicago does have two teams.
I know. They got the Cubbies.
You know, why does Chicago have two baseball teams?
I don't know.
I can
Why do we
understand.
have three? Why does State of Florida have three football teams?
Well, I can understand L.A. L.A.'s the second biggest city around, right? Two city. They got two. I can understand New York. New York's got
just trying to make
multiple teams. Okay.
Pennsylvania has two.
Yeah, but that's a state.
State. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know if Chicago
Chicago.
should have two baseball teams. Imagine what a baseball team would do. Well, yeah, but imagine what a baseball team would do in the Carolinas.
Yeah, Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, they would kill it. Even if they lost 114 games, people would still be there, at least for the first 3-4 years, because
Right.
it'd be new, which would give them a chance to rebuild that team up.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
I think they're stuck in Chicago.
All I know is the White Sox are stinking bad. Yeah, we've talked football. Rick Pease wants to talk women's basketball. Which
No.
women's basketball,
No.
I'm going to be honest, I never watch women's basketball.
Neither do I.
I have this year.
You have this year?
I've watched the Sky play. I've watched a few games. Damn it, those girls can play.
I've
All
never
right.
watched a lick of it, so I don't know.
And that's it. Moving on. That's all. That was for you, Rick. Oh, well, I got to read my notes here.
Wait, so the Monday night game? Yeah, Monday night game is Atlanta and Philly. Did we cover that game? The Monday night game,
Oh, the Monday night game coming up?
Atlanta and Philly. Yeah,
Oh, we didn't talk about that one.
Eagles are -6.5.
I thought Atlanta looked like a discombobulated team.
Yeah, I like Philly.
I didn't like the way they looked at all. I think Philly at home, Monday night, first game at home.
Yeah.
I got to like them. I got to like them.
Okay.
So, Yeah.
So I got stats of the 3 rookie quarterbacks that played on Sunday. Ready?
Okay, this is from week 1.
Week 1. Caleb Williams, the first draft pick taken in last year's draft, goes 14 of 29 for 93 yards, no touchdowns, no picks.
Okay, that was for the Bears, and the Bears lost.
The Bears won.
Oh, the Bears won.
They were down 17-0.
That's right, the big comeback. Even with the way he played, the Bears pulled a W.
They come back and beat Tennessee.
Okay, next.
Washington played Tampa. So Jaden Daniels, the LSU kid, 17 of 24, 184 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, but 88 rushing yards and 2 rushing TDs.
He didn't play bad. Granted, the Bucs defense played good, and I think Washington. I like Washington this year. I think for sure they win this week. Take your money, go bet the Commanders.
And then.
Tony wants to know how Jimmy did against Tony in fantasy.
All right. Tony called. That's somebody, my son, who's in our fantasy league. And Jimmy, he's got a question for you.
Okay, Bo Nix, the Denver quarterback, goes 26 of 42, 138 yards, 2 interceptions.
I think he gets ripped by Pittsburgh this week.
He'll get sacked 4 times in that game.
All right, meanwhile, what about that question that Tony wanted to ask?
Anyway, what do you want to talk about? No, I don't know. Did Tony win? I don't know.
Yes, Tony
I haven't
crushed
looked
you.
at my fantasy teams at all right now. So
Tony beat you. He beat you like a redheaded stepchild. He beat you
listen,
bad.
it doesn't matter where you start, Tony. It matters where you finish.
That's true. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. All right. Real quick, before we wrap it up, we're going to run across our Super Sevens again.
Yeah.
So now Tracy is if people go online and write down who they like, when I say online, they got to go to Paul Allen Sports on our Facebook page. Go to the live feed in the comments, pick your winners.
And they got to put their winners in before kickoff tonight's game.
Okay, no, it could be before Sunday's game.
Oh, they're all on Sunday?
All
They're
the
all on
games are on Sunday. So you've got until kickoff on Sunday to go in there, and you can pick your picks, and you can be part of our contest to win a new car. All right, maybe not a new car.
Or a new.
All right. Maybe you win maybe you get to win. Maybe win a rubber chicken.
The rubber chicken.
And other things. All right. New Orleans at Dallas. That's one game. Cleveland at Jacksonville. Indianapolis at the Green Bay Packers. San Francisco 49ers at Minnesota. The Pittsburgh Jimmy Steelers at the Denver Broncos. The Chicago Chorizo Bears at the Houston Texans. And the Tampa Bay Pauley Buccaneers playing the Detroit Lions. So there you go. You got to pick the winners of those games, and we'll see what happens. Yep. Yeah, total points on the last 2 games. Total points on the Bucs, Lions. Total points on the Bears, Houston.
Okay, so
those are our
last two.
And yeah, we're using those for the tiebreaker. All right, we have one more gift to give away. If you want to call out a number. All right, get your white tickets out, everybody. Before we go off the air, we got another prize basket to give away full of goodies. Okay, here we go. The last 4 digits, 7448. 7448. I wonder if that guy won again.
7448.
Anybody? 7448 going once. 7448 going twice. We'll pick one more. And if not, this will be given away next week. All right, white ticket. 7463. 7463. Anybody? Anybody out there? 7463?
How would you?
All right, here, Trey. Go give it to him. You won. All right, everybody. Hey, this has been fun. We're going to be here every Thursday night with our contest, giving stuff away. We're on Twitch.tv. Twitch.tv/Flohio Radio. Hopefully, we got a lower third that says that on there.
Flohio Radio.
All right. or Paul Allen Sports on Facebook. I also want to thank Adam and Eve for being one of our sponsors tonight. What do I say? I meant the Todd. Well, they were giving away Adam and Eve stuff. Yeah, they were giving away stuff from Adam and Eve. So yeah, this is Todd. I got the 2 giveaways away. Yeah. I want to thank Brendan's for having us here. And Jimmy, what do you got to say?
Well, hopefully week 2 will be less, dramatic than week 1 was, and we're just ready for. We're glad football's back. How's that?
Glad football back. And the chicken says this. We'll see everybody next week. Thank you.
Peace.